Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today it's a big one. We're ranking Radiohead albums. Radiohead, the collective of Tom York, Johnny and Colin Greenwood, Ed O'Brien, and Philip Selway, for 33 years, have been really the titans of that bridge between alternative and classic rock as far as their audience. There are a lot of people who are into kind of older styles of music who definitely resonate with Radiohead's sound. I know from some of the songs I've shown my dad personally, he's liked quite a bit of them. And they just have one of those discographies that I think most people universally agree on the ranking of what's worst and what's best, but it's kind of like the middle is what's hard to really rank. But for me, I have a completely different ranking. I don't go with what other people usually put at number one, so this ranking might shock a lot of people. So let's get started with what I think is the worst Radiohead album. And no, it's not The King of Limbs. It's 1993's Pablo Honey. Yeah, this album is stinky caca doo doo. The sound that the band was going for on this was very of its time, and I think that's the worst part of this record. I don't think they do this grungy alternative rock. They don't do this sound well. A couple songs like You, How Do You, maybe Ripcord is pretty cool, but yeah, the rest of the album is forgettable. And Creep might be the most loved bad song of all time. Like, I don't know what people get from Creep at all. To me, it has the emotional depth of a damn kiddie pool. But apparently it's this anthem or whatever. Yeah, this album is not good, in my opinion. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 to Pablo Honey. All right, number 8, I'm going with The King of Limbs. I don't own it. I've heard it a couple times. And the worst sin this album commits is it's too similar to The Eraser by Tom York, which was his solo project. It's very electronic, very down-tempo, very minimalist beats. But songs like Lotus Flower I always really liked. But yeah, that's kind of the highlight on the album. The album's very boring at parts, and it's not that long either. It's like 35 minutes, but it feels like it's like double the length. So I think it's like around 35, 40 minutes. I'll have to double check that. But like, yeah, I was listening to it the other day. I'm like, wow, this album feels like it's twice the length. But not terrible, but definitely nowhere near the previous 5 albums that the band had released. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. All right, number 7. Number 7. I am going to go controversially because I know that a lot of people love this album. A lot of people think this is their real breakthrough. But this album to me is half really good, half just kind of forgettable. I'm going The Bends at number 7. This album, huge seller in 1995, full of hits like High and Dry, Fake Plastic Trees, My Iron Lung, Just, Street Spirit, Fade Out. I really love Black Star as well. Planet Telex is pretty cool. I just think that this is them still finding themselves. I think that they kind of just skew between Radiohead, but they're still doing that commercial 90s grungy alternative rock. And I feel like it's just not a sound that they can pull off really well. I'm happy they never went into really heavier music because it's just, like I said, it's just not something that they do very well. This album's fine though. Like, for an alternative rock album in the 90s, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this album. But it's just not something that stands out in Radiohead's discography to me, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. All right. So that was number 8. Number 7. I think I might have said this is number 7. No, that was the Benz was number 8. Number 7 is Amnesiac. I'm doing Amnesiac at number 7, and here's why. I feel like this album is the perfect example of what happens when you kind of record all these songs for one album and the label won't let you release a double album. That is what this album is to me. I feel like um, outside the context of Kid A, I feel like this album is kind of just there. I really like the experimentation because it's so similar to Kid A. Obviously, songs like Hunting Bears has a little bit of more ambient stuff, like Spinning Plates, Knives Out. I really love I Might Be Wrong. That one is more of a desert rock track. And there is some interesting stuff here. I just feel like they should have just made it a double album. Just had put all the good songs because this album definitely goes into the demo territory. You definitely get some demo vibes on some of these songs. Some stuff just sounds straight up unfinished on this album. And it's a nice, like I said, it's a nice companion piece, but outside the context of Kid A, I don't think it works. So that's why at number 6, I'm playing Amnesiac. And I'm sorry, I messed up the ranking. So number 9 is Pablo Honey. Number 8 is King of Limbs. 7 is the Benz, and this is 6. I keep forgetting that I don't have King of Limbs, so that's why I was confused a minute ago. And this is great. This album I have behind me, the acoustic album. I love this thing. The live recordings that has the early version of True Love Waits, really good. But I'm not gonna rank it because it's not a studio album. Alrighty. So, we are at the top 5. And my number 5 is going to be A Moon-Shaped Pool. I think A Moon-Shaped Pool is great. I think it's the band getting back to their experimentation and their sound, the Radiohead sound. This album feels like a Radiohead album. Whereas King of Limbs felt like a Tom York solo album, this one feels like you're getting that experience. Obviously, Nigel Goodrich is on this album. He's on a lot of their albums. He engineers them. And Nigel Goodrich is almost like a 6th member of the band. It's really impressive how important he is to Radiohead's core sound. And this one definitely goes into some really cool experimentation. Burn the Witch, fantastic song. I didn't know until today that they actually been recording Burn the Witch since 2003. It was a part of the Hail to the Thief sessions, which I think is really interesting. I love Dex Dark, Desert Island Disc, Identikit is awesome. Tinker Tailor Soldier Sailor, Rich Man, Poor Man, Beggar Man, Thief is really great. I really love Present Tense as well. And the studio version of True Love Waits, which ends out this album, is really beautiful. This is just a fantastic record from start to finish. This is like a 8.5 out of 10, in my opinion. And Amnesiac is like a 6.5. I don't know if I can't remember if I ranked it or not. Okay, number 4. Here we go. What do I want to do here? Number 4, an album which ranks low for a lot of Radiohead fans. Hail to the Thief from 2003. I love this album. I re-listened to this today, and I had a blast. This was one of the first Radiohead albums I really heard. I love it. I think it's just such a stunning piece of work. It's a little more political. Obviously, there's songs protesting the war on terror, some other things in British politics as well, some immigration stuff. Really, really cool subject matter on a lot of these songs. I love the different subtitles that each song will have. I don't know if you can see that, but really, really great stuff here. 2 + 2 = 5, one of the best opening songs. One of the few songs where they do heavy rock really well. Sit Down, Stand Up is good. Sail to the Moon. Back Drifts is a stunning piece of art. Has that really chopped up kind of experimental drum pattern, the syncopated drums that they would do on in Rainbows a lot more. Go to Sleep is great. I love the dueling acoustic guitars between Ed O'Brien and Johnny Greenwood. Um, the Gloaming is really good. They're there. My favorite song on this album is probably a Punch Up at a Wedding, which is the song Tom York wrote about a critic who panned one of their concerts, and it's just a vicious takedown of music criticism. So, really great album. This one ranks, I'd put it higher, but it would be blasphemous. I'm already going to piss off a bunch of people with what I have at number 2 and number 1. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. All right. So before I move on, because I know I'm going to be roasted in the comments for this, I am just going to say, as I sit here, all 3 of these could be number 1. All 3 of these, I could actually stop the video and rank all 3 of these 1. But I'm not going to. Number 3, and I really hate to do this because it is such an iconic album. Number 3, OK Computer. The reason why this album is number 3 for me is because I feel like because it's so well known, it goes a little overrated in my opinion. I still think it's a masterpiece. I still think it's a great album, but people really glaze this thing up. Obviously, some of the best 90s hits, alternative rock hits of the decade. This was really when Nigel Goodrich came into his own as an engineer with this band. He fully unlocked their sound on this album. Starts off with Airbag, goes perfectly into Paranoid Android. Exit music for a film is great. Karma Police, everyone knows Karma Police. No Surprises is really one of the most beautiful songs that they've ever done. And The Tourist is a hair-raising ending track. This is kind of the start of their logo as well. That'll be one of their main logos. Yeah, this is just a very beautiful album overall. Like I said, I think it goes a wee bit overrated in my opinion, because some people think this is the greatest album of all time. I don't. It's one of them, but it's not like above, even the 2 albums I have ranked ahead to me. But this is still a great album. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 to OK Computer. Okay, I have lost sleep. I have lost patience trying to decide which of these I want to put at number 2 and number 1. The number 2 Radiohead album is Kid A. I'm going to tell you why. I feel like Kid A is the perfect encapsulation of everything the band has done. It has the narrative storytelling that they would do in the future and they had done in the past. This album came out in 2000, the year I was born. Big hit, big sell, one of the best-selling experimental albums too. This album sold a bunch of copies. This has the sonic experimentation. It has the alternative rock songs with stuff like Morning Bell. I really love How to Disappear Completely is great. The National Anthem is one of my favorite songs of theirs. Even a song like Idiotech with this kind of weird, kind of dancey rhythms is great. Kid A to me, I don't know why, if it's just me looking at like the artwork, gives me winter vibes. I don't know why. I think that's when I first heard this album. I really love the artwork too, like the booklet, how it has like the traced paper here, and you kind of I think it folds out a bunch and stuff. I love when artists really put a lot into the packaging and stuff, and Radiohead are definitely one of those bands. Um, I feel like sometimes this album goes too far with its experimentation. I don't think all of it works. Like, I cannot stand the song Kid A. I cannot stand that song. Even everything in its right place, I feel like goes on for a little bit too long, as iconic of a song as it is. But overall, I think this is a very, uh, almost a cinematic experience in an album. Motion picture soundtrack, great closer. Yeah, Kid A for me is one of their best and one of the best. It's 10 out of 10. All right, number one, In Rainbows from 2007. The reason why this ranks number one is because I can fly through this album. Some of their stuff, some of their albums get kind of long-winded at parts. Not that there's anything, not that they're bad, but I can fly through In Rainbows. I can just listen to this thing on loop and loop it. Just keep listening to it. Really cool packaging on this one. Looks like envelope. They stopped packaging the CD like this for some reason. I saw a CD at a record store I was in. It was just in a regular digipack. I don't know why. This was such cool packaging. But so many great songs on this album. 15 Step, one of their best songs. Funny story. I first heard Radiohead because my sister was a Twilight fan for some reason, and she watched the first movie, and the song at the end of that movie is 15 Step. So I always loved that song. Body Snatchers, probably one of my favorite Radiohead songs. Nude is really, really great, kind of more down-tempo. Weird Fishes, Arpeggi. All I Need. I really love the drums on this album, are really great. Reckoner is really great, one of my favorites. Jigsaw Falling Into Place is one of their best songs. Videotape closes out this album really well. Yeah, this album is close to a masterpiece as any of their albums. I mean, they all make masterpieces to me, but this one is a really special album for me. And it's one of my personal favorites. It is my personal favorite of theirs. So this one gets an 11 out of 10 for In Rainbows. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your ranking of Radiohead is below, and I'll see you next time.